Hello, Yankees universe! Welcome back to your go-to channel, the New York Yankees News Network. Today we have 3 jam-packed updates about our Bronx Bombers, which just came to notice a few hours ago. So, if you are a true Yankees fan, you do not want to miss these updates. And yes, before we start the video, I request that if you are new to the channel, then do not forget to like and subscribe so that you can stay in the loop with everything Pinstripes. We have a lot to cover today, specifically regarding the ongoing free agency drama and some major internal decisions that will shape the 2026 season. So let's dive right in. Update 1. Yankees draw the line. The final verdict on the Cody Bellinger sweepstakes. All right, folks, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Cody Bellinger. For weeks, we have been hearing rumors, speculation, and back-and-forth chatter. But now, it seems the front office has finally reached a concrete conclusion. According to the latest reports surfacing today, the New York Yankees have made a firm and decisive stance regarding the star outfielder. While most of Major League Baseball's top free agents have already finalized their deals or are trending in that direction, Bellinger remains available, and his market is still wide open. But here is the massive news. The Yankees have reportedly reached a final conclusion on how they are going to handle this. The Yankees have made it incredibly clear that Bellinger is their #1 priority this offseason. Make no mistake, they want him in pinstripes. However, there are strict limits to their desire. We have learned that there are certain lengths the Bronx Bombers are simply unwilling to go to. Even if that nightmare scenario plays out where we have to watch Bellinger join our crosstown rivals, the New York Mets, as a free agent. Bob Klapisch of the Star-Ledger has reported that the Yankees have made an internal decision not to engage in a bidding war for Cody Bellinger if the Mets or any other team swoops in with a blow-away offer. The report explicitly states that the team is prepared to let Bellinger walk rather than get dragged into a financial battle that exceeds their comfort zone. Now, I know what you are thinking. This might be frustrating to hear, but let's look at the Yankees' reasoning here, because it is not entirely without merit. The team has actually already had an offer turned down by Bellinger and his camp. And we are not talking about pennies here. The Bronx Bombers believe that their proposal, which was a 5-year deal worth between $155 million and $160 million, including 2 opt-outs, was more than fair. The sticking point? The years. Cody Bellinger is remaining firm in his stance, demanding a 7-year commitment for his next Major League Baseball contract. The Yankees, however, will not be pressured by Bellinger and his agent, Scott Boras, into a deal they are uncomfortable with. The organization has decided that 7 years is simply too many, and the situation is becoming crystal clear. Bellinger will either sign for 5 years, or he will be suiting up in a different uniform next season. This is a high-stakes game of poker. There is a scenario where this hardball tactic is all part of Hal Steinbrenner and the Yankees' plan to leverage negotiations back in their favor. They are betting that Bellinger's market might not be as robust as he thinks. However, this is an incredibly risky approach. With other top free agents like Kyle Tucker and Bo Bichette already off the board, there is effectively no clear backup plan if they fail to re-sign Bellinger. If this gamble fails, the Yankees are left with a massive hole in the lineup. But there is a silver lining. Even if Bellinger heads elsewhere in 2026, the Yankees are viewed as a perfect landing spot for another all-star if Bellinger does indeed sign with the Mets. This brings us to a potential Plan B that involves a major trade, which we will get to in our next segment. But for now, the message from the front office is loud and clear: 5 years or nothing. That is the situation with Cody Bellinger. The Yankees have drawn their line in the sand. Update 2. Yankees' secret Plan B revealed. The trade target to replace Bellinger? Moving on to our second big story of the day. If the Yankees do indeed let Cody Bellinger walk, as we discussed in the first update, do they have a backup plan? Well, a new report suggests they might already be looking at a trade that would shake things up in the Bronx. The New York Yankees still appear to be at a complete standstill with Bellinger. The problem is that the market has shifted dramatically. With stars like Kyle Tucker, Alex Bregman, and Bo Bichette signing massive, lucrative contracts elsewhere, Bellinger's asking price has only gone up. Remember, the Yankees were already reluctant to pay him before those deals happened, so you can imagine the panic level in the front office now. This has led to a very intriguing proposal pitched by Alexander Wilson of Empire Sports Media. If the Yankees pivot away from Bellinger, the target to watch is St. Louis Cardinals super utility man, Brendan Donovan. Why Donovan? It comes down to the money. Wilson notes that the financial disparity is the clincher here. Bellinger is seeking a mega deal that would hamstring the Yankees' payroll flexibility for half a decade. Brendan Donovan, on the other hand, is making a fraction of that cost. Acquiring him would allow the Yankees to allocate their financial resources to other desperate needs, like bolstering the bullpen or the starting rotation, while still securing a borderline all-star offensive contributor. And Donovan is no slouch. He made an all-star appearance last season, slashing .287, .353, and .422. He hit 10 home runs and recorded 50 runs batted in over 515 plate appearances. While he primarily played second base, he also spent time in left field, showing that versatility the Yankees love. This isn't the first time the Yanks have been linked to him. They were apparently interested in the 29-year-old earlier this winter. If Bellinger walks, expect those rumors to heat up immediately. However, we have to be real. Donovan is not Cody Bellinger. He has great plate discipline with a lifetime on-base percentage of .361, but his lack of power is a real concern. And defensively, he pales in comparison to the former National League most valuable player. There is also the cost of acquisition. Because Donovan has 2 years of club control remaining, he would likely be very expensive in terms of prospects. This brings us to the core frustration for many of you watching. It feels like General Manager Brian Cashman wants it both ways. He wants to keep the top prospects and not pay market value for free agents. But as we know, you usually have to pick one: pay the money or trade the talent. If they don't swing this trade, the team might just roll with Jason Dominguez as the starting left fielder and add a platoon partner like Austin Hayes. But for now, Brendan Donovan is the name to keep on your radar. That wraps up the potential trade scenario. It's a classic case of prospects versus payroll. Update 3. The secret weapon. Will Warren's projected breakout in 2026. And finally, let's shift gears from the lineup to the mound. While everyone is focused on who we are signing, the biggest upgrade for the Yankees might actually come from within. We are talking about right-handed pitcher Will Warren, and while the organization believes he is poised for a massive second-year leap in 2026. If you remember, Warren was essentially thrown into the fire during the 2025 season. Injuries decimated the rotation in spring training, forcing him into a role he might not have been fully ready for. His debut stint was, frankly, hideous. He recorded a 10.32 earned run average in 22.2 innings pitched. But here's the thing. The Yankees maintained their faith in him, and it paid off. Warren didn't crumble. He ended up making 33 starts on the season and stabilized into a league average run preventer with underlying metrics suggesting he actually suffered from some poor luck. Now, entering 2026, the narrative has completely flipped. He won't be competing for a spot in camp. Instead, the Yankees are viewing him as one of their rotational bedrocks. So, what is the secret behind this projected breakout? It is all about the pitch mix. In 2025, Warren rediscovered his four-seam fastball, using it 41.6% of the time. It became a nightmare for hitters, who batted just .216 against it. This works because of his low arm angle, which generates deceptive vertical ride that hitters just don't anticipate. However, Warren had a major kryptonite: left-handed hitters. Against lefties, he committed the three cardinal sins of pitching. He didn't miss bats, he issued too many walks, and he gave up a lot of damaging contact. His sweeper and sinker destroyed righties, but they left him vulnerable on the other side of the plate. The solution? The changeup. This is the key to his 2026 season. One of the biggest mid-season adjustments he made was decreasing his sweeper usage against lefties and leaning into his changeup, which has tons of drop. The numbers back this up. Lefties hit just .203 with a 31.6% whiff rate against his changeup last season. If the Yankees coaching staff can help him refine that changeup, Warren covers up his greatest weakness. The scouting report is bold. If he unlocks this pitch consistently, he isn't just a back-end starter. He could legitimately become a number 2 or number 3 starter for this ball club. So, there you have it, Yankees universe. 3 major storylines that will define the next few months. First, the Yankees have drawn a hard line in the sand regarding Cody Bellinger. 5 years or he walks. Second, if Bellinger does leave, Brendan Donovan is emerging as the low-cost, high-versatility trade target to fill the void. And finally, keep your eyes on Will Warren, who is quietly shaping up to be the X factor in our starting rotation for 2026. Now, I want to hear from you. Do you agree with the Yankees' refusal to give Bellinger 7 years? And would you be happy with Brendan Donovan as a consolation prize? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section down below. As always, thank you so much for tuning in to the New York Yankees News Network. If you enjoyed this video, please crush that like button, and if you haven't already, hit subscribe and ring the bell so you never miss an update on the Bronx Bombers. Until next time, let's go Yankees!